Well, I mean, I think it's relief for everyone for sure. This has been one of the longest strikes in Hollywood history. It started off with just the writers and that shut the town down, and then along the actors joined them in a historic double strike. And its production's been on pause for 6 months, which is insane to think about, really. But now it's over, and we'll see how we start back up again. That'll be its own process. But I think relief in general for everyone in the community, and hope that they got what they were bargaining for sure. One of the motivations behind the strike for the actors was concern about minimum rate increases. So for again, a lot of the non A-list actors making their daily wages and being able to make a living at this. Having a money to make a living at this in a very expensive place to live. And then more importantly was the AI question, and that certainly seems to be a major sticking point throughout the whole process about who owns digital likenesses, what the future of that is as this technology keeps changing. So they had to sort of put a line in the sand right now because that technology is just going to keep increasing, keep growing, and they had to sort of, I think, really fight hard for what they wanted how they wanted to function in an environment where that's going to become more increasingly the norm. In the more wide view, the sort of streaming boom is over. Essentially, the number of shows, the number of movies made is going to shrink as consolidation happens among streaming, among studios. So as the various regimes get smaller, it's going to be harder necessarily to find work. And for the people who do have work, you want to have guarantees in place as everything shifts underneath them. So I think to have this conversation now, as extreme as it might seem, to have such a lengthy strike, it was necessary, I believe, in their minds, and for anyone in labor to recognize that if you want to have a voice in how things are going to take shape over the next decade, you have to let that voice be heard now in this way. That you'll be able to see actors suddenly being able to talk about their projects again, which has been a major sticking point for a lot of these releases, which maybe some people feel aren't doing as well because the actors haven't been out there front and center talking about them. For one thing, it's November. We're running into the holiday season, so Thanksgiving and Christmas things tend to slow down for that anyway. And then also added on to that the idea that there were various productions that were in various states of shooting. So how quickly can those productions, which might be middle or closely in their shooting, ramp back up? Those would seem to sort of be the ones that need to be taken care of first. And actors are juggling other commitments as well. So if they have to finish up one project before moving on to the other one, how will that jibe with their schedules? It is probably going to be a bit of a mess at first as the various studios compete for soundstage space, for resources, for crew. There will be I think a rough restart as these things take off again. I mean, we'll be interesting. We'll have a test case for that very soon, because next year IATSE, which is the union that represents a lot of below the line workers, is going to face their own renegotiation, and so we're going to see, after the studios having been through this experience with both SAG and the WGA, will they be more willing to meet with IATSE up front and sort of head off another potential strike? Will this experience make them more likely to directly communicate and say, instead of going on strike, let's solve this now. Let's head this off before you have to before you potentially have to strike and shut things down again. So that'll be a real interesting test case to see what happens.